Yo, what up, folks? You know who it is? Your boy John Mike, Keys and Conversations. We here with Kenny. We here with Sheridan.
What up? What up?
We out here at NAMM 2026. Man, it's been a week.
It's been a week.
Man, like hanging out, shaking hands, doing all of this stuff like that.
Kissing babies.
Yeah, what'd you say?
Kissing babies.
Kissing babies.
I ain't kissed no babies. I saw some babies, but I ain't kissed
them. I saw some babies, didn't kiss them. Now we out here, man. So like, this is like literally our last day because we all, heading out in the morning. But it's Friday, so man, what has been like your takeaways from the day? Like, what you think is? I mean, we went over to Nord. Hung out over there, asked them the questions. Got the pitch spin. Why they didn't add it? Why they pull up on us real quick? You know what I'm saying, with that or whatever. So I mean, how y'all feeling about like how everything kind of turned out here today?
So I think this NAMM was the organ shootout now.
Yeah.
I think it was a clear organ shootout. I mean, we have, of course, the Electro 7 that dropped. But Nord Organ 3, the Hammond XK7, and the Viscount. Whatever the organ is.
Viscount.
But I mean, I'm saying whatever the organ is. I don't know
the legend.
The legend.
The legend, yeah,
and I mean, it's not a bad organ. I don't mean any disrespect, Viscount. But I think it was a clear organ shootout. There were a lot of vendors that weren't here that were here last year. I didn't see Rhodes here. Decibel wasn't here. We were looking for them. Krumar was not here.
You know who else I'm surprised it wasn't here? Spectrasonics wasn't here.
Oh, wow.
And I went looking for, I found a third-party booth, Ilio, but they're like a third-party vendor, but like actual Eric Piercing, Spectrasonics, no, they wasn't here.
And even on the pro audio side, there were a lot of missing elements there, a lot of missing people that we usually see there. But shout out to Warm Audio.
Warm Audio.
Mix it up with them.
I gotta stop doing that. We did a live pod with them last year. So they're
so now we've had a good time. It's been a good time talking to some of the guys. We've gotten a lot of feedback from y'all on those videos and the live that we posted. So first and foremost, shout out to y'all for y'all's support, y'all's continued support. Kenny Matthews' channel on Gospel Producers, John Mike channel, and Seanway Music and Tech. We really appreciate y'all. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed and you haven't followed us on social media, do it. We here, we gonna keep coming with this content. We definitely gonna keep this Keys and Conversations coming for you.
So getting into the Keys and Conversations. All right, let's run it down, cause I got a chance to go by. We all did our individual journeys. And that's what us coming back now to unpack kind of what we found on our individual kind of journeys running up on these companies. So I think I'll start with Nord and the Electro situation. Then we'll talk about the Viscount. We'll talk about the Hammond. Because I did roll by there and had a good conversation with my dude Corey Ling. That was dope. And then I actually pulled up on Kurzweil too.
Yeah. Me too.
Pulled up on Kurzweil. So let's start with the Electro.
So I'll jump right into the Electro. So one of the things that I noticed about the Electro, first of all, shout out to Nord. Nord did a really great job this year of just rolling out what the new keyboard would have been, which was the Piano 6, the Grand 2, and the Nord Electro 7, right? And so they rolled out that Nord Electro 7, and when they did that, what I believe happened was they had a change of heart at the last minute. We did not see the pitch bend or the mod wheel here. However, we do know it's coming. And I think the biggest takeaway is that Organ 3 is amazing, right? It sounds amazing. I did get a chance to talk with a couple of the Nord artists, and they ran us through some of the stuff that was on the Nord Electro 7 that we did not know. So hands-on, it is a very great feeling board. It feels amazing. However,
you talking about the HP version?
Yes, the HP version. Well, all of them. I like the 61. I like the HP version. I would love to see what would happen in the future when they do release that pitch bend and mod wheel. However, I do think that the conversation this year for me was the organs.
Yeah. So they put the Organ 3 engine in the Electro.
Right.
Now I talked to a couple of people over there, and one cat that he has the Organ 3. He's like, I got the Organ 3 at church, and he said I play it every Sunday. He's like, but like playing it here and hearing it in the Electro, he said it's not the same organ.
Yeah.
He said he said it sounds good, but it sounds close, but it's not like 100% there.
Yeah.
But I think they did and I'm pretty sure it has something to do with like you know how they had like light versions of the piano.
Yeah.
Probably like a sample. I don't know if something like that. But he said it sounded different. He said it was dope, but he said it sounded different still in the same.
I think again they should not give us everything because they have a variety of keyboards. So
Ayo, so I was editing this video and I had a thought and I was like, let me jump in and check this to make sure that I'm correct. But this is really, really crazy. Let me show you this real quick. It looks like that over 77% of you guys that watch this channel are actually not subscribed. That's kind of wild, right? That's kind of wild. So check this out. If you could do me a quick favor and just hit the like button and the subscribe button while you're at it, because it doesn't cost you anything, but it means everything to me. All right, that's all I got. Let me get you back to the video.
Yeah.
I would not put the same engine. I would put like I know they have the XL, the L, the M. I would put like the L version in the Nord Electro and leave the XL inside of the, that's what they name it.
No, I was gonna say maybe the M.
Or maybe the M. Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily go M because M get a little cheesy.
That's funny.
and that was my big takeaway, that these organs are really starting to getting away from that cheesy sound.
Oh yeah,
for sure. No, this is serious.
They come with it. One thing with the organs though, since we're talking about the differentiation between the organ in the Electro 7 versus the actual organ 3. One thing that I did notice, and this is my favorite feature, I'm going to talk about this on my video that's forthcoming about this, is the mic position. The mic position on the organ 3 and the Electro 7. Now the variance is, with the Electro 7, you have 3 mic positions. With the organ 3, you have 5 mic positions. So, and when you're really cutting and you're doing recording, that actually cuts out a lot of mixing that you have to do with your organ, and it puts you in a position to where you can differentiate the sound and sit that organ right in the mix where you want it. They have added a lot more controls on that organ 3, on the top of that organ 3. They've added a lot more controls than the C2D. The sound is a little bit heavier and thicker on that organ 3 too. So with the options that you have with the organ 3, you don't have as many options with the Electro 7, but you still have a lot of options.
So run that back. So you said that in the Electro, you got 3 mic positions.
3 mic positions on the
5.
Electro.
So that's probably why there's a difference in the sound.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That my man was saying.
Well,
that makes sense. I didn't know that they had the different mic positions that you can
It depends. There's still a weightiness to it because I've actually had the privilege of comparing the Electro 5 and the Electro 6 as well.
Yeah.
The organs in those to the C2D.
Okay.
Because that's what was supposed to be modeled in there. And it's just not the same. But the thing about it is even though it's not the same, it's enough. Because we're talking about keyboards that are right next to each other. And if you're generally somebody who's going to buy the Electro, you're not going to go and buy the Nord Organ 3 as well. You're going to buy one or the other, and it's going to be for a use case only. So I don't even think I think that's the issue. It's a great observation for sure.
Well, so then we get back into the word playability, right? So no, seriously. So if we're talking playability, the main thing that I noticed about the organ versus the Electro, right, is the Electro is an on-the-go keyboard. It is not a keyboard that you sit down and say, I'm going to use it specifically for this. It is an on-the-go semi-workstation, right? So you can dial in real quick. And I will tell you this, if you get it in most scenarios, in most settings, what I would say is it is more than enough for most settings.
For sure.
Got it.
Absolutely.
So organs is dope with that. The key bed for me is what won me over with the Electro because it's actually the exact same bed. And I verified it's the same bed that's in the Grand 2.
Yeah.
So for me, that makes it the winner. And then like I said, with the other thing that really got me, and you was laughing at me, the thing that got me with the Electro was the categories.
Yeah.
So they added in the categories where you can press them. So the little knobs when you turn, when you press that button in, it pulls up a category mode.
Yeah.
And so you can actually like go through like your different, synth categories, piano categories, acoustic piano, whatever, upright pianos.
Yeah.
You can actually cycle through those, which is a winner coming from the 6. Like you couldn't do that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That. And then I know you can do it on the 4, but they streamlined it in a different way. The feature is different on the Electro than it is on the actual stage 4.
Yeah. But okay, here again, this is where, I get it. it's a new toggle button, but at the same time, that's not a winner for me. Simply because that should already be there. Right? So, and this is one thing I noticed with one of the artists, he broke down the way to get around that keyboard. And what I will say about Nord is, and what I would like to see in the years to come, I'm not asking you to make it just super easy, but make it more user-friendly. Because by the time you get done shipping, you got to shift, and then you got to hold another button.
Yeah, no, that's
you got to do too much shit to get to get it working.
Here we
and
go.
that to me is where I find that to me is what separates on the go board from a board that you got to do a lot of just concentrating.
But, I mean, they're
figuring
fixing
out.
that. But so now, what kind of got me now is the fact that the Electro now has the better keypad in it.
Yeah.
Because the Grand keypad, the Kawaii keypad, is better than the Stage 4 keypad.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the Electro 7 is going to have a better keypad in it than the Stage 4 has in it. You know what I'm saying? And they added the easier access to the categories right there on the menu.
So let's speak to that categories real quick.
That's what's getting me like that puts it in a different class.
So let me take you guys back in time. I don't know if you noticed, I'm a nerd, so I did notice for the first rendition of the Stage 3 that you see on your Stage 3 under the piano, or somewhere on the front panel it says 2.0.
Okay.
Because the first version of the Stage 3 actually had categories for the pianos. It was a different way to get to your pianos. They had, those separated. They didn't have it in the synth, but they had it in the pianos. So I don't think this is something that's necessarily new. I think it's a resurgence of an old idea.
It's a resurgence.
But the thing about it is, but the thing about it is I understand that it makes it one of those things to where you can access what you need and find it, but honestly, it's not a big thing, because even with the 3 and I have the Stage,
it may not seem like a big thing, but like category, I get category is big. When you live and you playing and you trying to jump into like a different sound, trying to like when I'm on a motif or a montage or whatever, that category mode.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you though. And this is where me and Mike Burrell had this conversation about keyboards in general. This is where you guys got to dig in those keyboards, because you're not going to be looking, if you're looking for a sound in the middle of a song that you didn't get thrown into, that you had ample time to prepare for it, and I ain't trying to clown you, but I'm just talking about what I'm talking about, then you haven't done your homework, and you have to do your homework, because you can go in a lot. Hold on, wait a minute though. Because I'm getting to my point. Y'all ain't let me get to my point. Yo.
It's a podcast. We gonna cut your ass off, and you gotta make sense when you saying the shit.
No, you can go in the live mode. No, you can go in the live mode is what I'm saying. Live mode. Set that up in live mode. You can set it up in live mode to where you go.
But
and
scenarios, bro.
Hold on. I'm saying, and you can set it up to where you got your first sound, which is right next to your second sound, which is right next to your third sound.
But in the middle of a gig, when
preparatory work. So like I said, if you're on a gig to where you've had the music and you had stuff.
When it switch up.
But if you haven't and on the go, I can understand that.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
about. If you don't know your board good enough to get to the category.
But what I'm saying to you is this, though. What I'm saying to you is this. I disagree with you wholeheartedly, and the only reason I disagree with him wholeheartedly is because there is too many different worst case scenarios. I'm on a gig and another player is playing the board and he might come and switch some stuff out. I'm on a gig where I did not have the time to get in, no sound check, no nothing. We just on the fly playing. And that happens more than none. You know,
I mean, now what you're saying is valid. I think what you're saying is valid for
you
like
should
the
know
people
your keyboard.
that have to like play. I'm just talking about the specific scenario of church, live gig somewhere, whatever. Something switch up. I need to figure out what a Astoria Grand is. I'm just using that because that's the newest one they put out. I'm having to jump in that menu category and pushing that button in real quick and going grand piano, Astoria, boom. I'm in there. That's clutch to me. Pitch me in my wheel, plus the new keypad, it just wins for me.
So, and I'm not talking about the people who don't own the board or who don't have unlimited access to the board. I'm talking about the people who have access to the board. If you have unlimited access to that board and you don't know that board, that's on you.
I don't disagree with knowing your board, but I do know that we live in a world where worst case scenario is I got on a gig and you had the board set up before I got there. And I don't have time to say.
So if you roll up on the gig and you got an Electro there, it's not your Electro. You rolled up on the gig and it's an Electro 7. You're like, oh, Category mode, yeah, piano, you know exactly where. That's clutch to me.
So for new users or for users that don't know the board, I get it.
Yeah, all across the board.
But
so
if you
like
got that board.
But they don't have that feature on the stage 4. Not easy access like that.
Yeah.
You can get into the category mode, but it's not as easily accessible as pressing the button. So the guy was like, the artist that told me, he was like, this is an exclusive feature to the Electro.
Yeah.
Plus the bed, the new key bed is exclusive to it.
Listen, I just want to call something.
Okay.
Okay, I want to call something. Malarkey. Okay, listen. All these boards have a way to search categories, right?
Why did you just say the word?
Malarkey. Yeah, no, malarkey.
No, thank you.
Malarkey. Yo, shut your ass up. Malarkey, right? I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why I call it malarkey, because in every situation there is a way for you to search a category.
Okay.
So don't act like you did me a favor by putting a little ring around the button and said push.
I will play the devil's advocate against what I
you just said if we don't know the board, now you gotta make up your damn mind. You always want to be the devil but want to be saved.
Well, because I spend time on the board.
I got
in real life situations, especially
That's
church.
funny.
So in the sim section, specifically on that stage 3, it's not as easy, and especially when you get into that sound editor, you can put them in. You can put the sounds anywhere, and the first thing in your mind, you're not thinking, "Let me make this a lead. Let me make this string."
Yeah.
I'm just throwing the sound in there, and I'm going. Especially if it's one of those sounds that y'all have imported from those rolling boards.
Yeah.
Amen. God be praised. So having the category, I can see on the sim side, but again,
right. Okay. So wait, hold on. Okay. We spending a lot of time on this.
All
right. So now
when's the start of the show though? It's like pretty much the only new board here at the show.
No.
Well, outside of the Viscount.
No.
We're gonna get in this organ thing.
Let's get into it. Let's talk about what we came to talk about.
Okay.
So I came here with the intention to talk about why Hammond had not had his foot all over this. You as the grandfather, you are the big daddy, you are the creme de la creme of why we play organ today, of what it is. There is there is nothing else out there to model after except a Hammond B3, C3, A100, 122 Leslie, 21H, whatever, so forth and so on. And Hammond for years did a terrible job of modeling other Hammonds after what everybody modeled Hammond after. But this time, that XK7, they got it right. When I say they got it right, they got it right.
So I talked to a couple of organists over at Hammond, like some cats that was sitting there playing it. Like I talked to my guy Corey Ling, and I got this on video, so we're gonna post it on the channel. Corey was like, it's cool, it can squall, it sounds like a Hammond. He said, but the tone ain't all the way there.
No, Corey, is he with Hammond?
I don't know if he's with Hammond.
Yeah, so you got to tell Corey to shut the up, okay? Because the guy from Hammond, no, I got to tell you, because at first, I got to tell you, because what happened is this. Now, if he played, it depends on which Leslie he played out of, too.
He's playing out of solid state.
That's why. That's solid state Leslie.
He said it was some bull crap.
Yeah.
But he said.
So let's talk about organs for real, and I mean, and not.
Yeah, what the fuck we talking about it? You said we talking about it for fake.
Hey man, let me finish talking. Shut up.
Talking about organs for real.
Finish talking.
Like we're not talking about organs.
Take his man's mic.
Go ahead, man. Say what you gotta say.
So let's talk about organs for real. So with the digital organs, one thing, and I had to have a conversation with myself. You're never going to get exactly what you get from a classic B3 out of those organs. You just not. Even the Leslie, the new Leslie, it has new electronics in it.
Right.
The tube Leslie that we heard on the middle organ, and there was reason for that. It has tubes in it, but it still has new electronics. So there's going to be a cleanliness to it that you don't hear from the traditional B3.
But can I say this?
You can dial in things that you can't dial in on the traditional B3. There are things that are stock on the traditional B3 that are not in the organ.
So, but then let me say this. A lot of times people want to hear the wood from the Leslie, right?
Yeah.
That's what they really basing it off of, whether it's a 21H, 22H, 122, 147. But that's what they want to hear. But if you record organ, like I record organ all the time, that sound is what they're modeling after. What it sounds like coming not just through tubes, but after it's been EQ'd, after it's been compressed, after it's been sent through all type of compression and everything, preamps and all that other stuff. So that is what, they're not modeling it off the wood. They're not modeling it off the model. They are modeling it off what do it sound like after it's been recorded.
So, and then the other part of it is you have to know the inner workings of an organ. An organ is a generated sound, like it has physical generators in it.
Yeah.
These are sampled sounds. They're digital. So you're repeating
which mean that
tones.
they had to be recorded.
So then let's talk about the history of it all, because we had the same thing with Nord. We had the same thing with Yamaha, with Roland. As technology progresses, we find better ways to compress information into smaller spaces so we can get more information. So what they're doing is gathering more samples for these instruments so that you can get the leakage, so that you can get the air, so that you can
get the crosstalk.
UI, so you can get the crosstalk, so that you can get the Leslie switch when you hit it.
Yeah, the click.
Those things, because those things aren't in what, if you take steps back to the other organs that have been created that are digital organs, they don't have that. But we have that with this stuff because we have more ways to store more information. Therefore, we have more samples to emulate the true sound of it all. At the end of it all, it's still not going to articulate like, and I'm not saying loudness, I'm not saying integrity, I'm saying character wise. It's not going to articulate like a traditional instrument because it is not a tone generated instrument. It is a modeled instrument.
Now let me add to that point. Okay, so that was beautiful, right? But no, and I agree. I agree with him. I agree with him. But I think one of the things that we take out is the relay that's in a solid state. Like that really changes the difference between a tube Leslie and that. And so once you start dealing with like, oh man, because you get a lot of drive and a lot of overdrive out of that solid state, and it make that organ sound real crunchy and everything. And that works good for jazz organ players, rock organ players. But the traditional B3 in a church setting, we don't use a lot of overdrive. We barely use reverb.
Right.
We want a warm, dry sound. But I'm telling you, they got that right.
So to you, it's a winner.
A clear winner.
Okay, so
a clear winner.
Question. Well, you ain't even put your organ 3 out of the box, so I can't answer that question. But I was gonna say the question I'm gonna ask.
Because I played a few of them here.
Organ 3. Are you going back home selling your organ 3 and getting the X?
Absolutely not. But I am going to go get Hammond XK7.
You're not selling. You keep them both of them.
Yeah. I'm not selling because here's the thing. Nord for years have been in the running with the closest thing to a sound that sounds like the warm.
Organ and piano.
They have gotten them highs right, and a lot of keyboards, because Viscount, although I do like the characteristics, I like the feel. It feels, now that Nord 3 organ feels trashy because I don't like the short pedal bed, pedal board. I hate that. So it don't feel great. But however, it does in theory sound amazing, right? Viscount, it feels great. But by the time I get to my mid highs and my highs, it started to lose something that I have not figured out. And maybe I could talk to somebody and they can help me understand that. But for me, it's a no. And it's not. Viscount is a no. Absolutely, like an absolute no.
So what about? I mean,
but it feels great.
The thing that's interesting to me about the Viscount was the modular situation that they just created with. So they started out with the Legend 1, right? And they just added this whole.
It's not new.
So I'm talking. Well, it's not new, but I'm saying like the fact that they brought in that modular situation.
You know what it's like.
It's not. I'm not saying the concept is new. I'm talking about like that it's new on their side.
It's like an old dog trying to do new tricks. It's really nothing.
Really win you over.
Yeah, it's really like okay, and that was not a clear win for me. Now, what's a clear win for me if I had to just go based off of something to give Viscount a good upper hand? It feels like an organ. It feels like a damn organ. I felt like I was playing an organ. It did not feel like with the Nord is great for on stage, in arenas. All I got is an organ. I don't have pedals. I don't have to have the seat. The Nord don't feel good in that, but it sounds amazing. But that Hammond. Now he asked me. He said, "How do the keys feel?" I do not like the keys. I don't like the key. That's the only thing that I did not like.
But you like the tone.
What? The tone. So, then he went in and changed something in the back. he switched it over from 147 to 122.
Yeah.
All in one amp.
Yeah. And he was in.
Oh.
So for you, if your perfect situation would be the feel of Viscount with the tone of the XK.
No, my perfect situation would be the XK period.
Just XK period.
Period. It feels like a Hammond.
Even though, but you said you didn't like the feel.
No, I just don't like the keys.
Oh.
But like, I mean, when I say feel, I'm talking about I'm sitting on that. Whoa. That's crazy.
Go for it.
No.
No, get in there.
It's no. Wow, look.
Hey, you know,
balls.
Yeah, praying.
So look.
Yeah, praying.
What I enjoy about playing the organ is there's an actual body posture that has to be there.
Yeah.
You're not just sitting like, and I think a lot of people miss that. When you sitting too low, it don't feel right.
Yeah.
On a Hammond, there is it's like a body ratio to height ratio to where your feet need to be, and it feels like that. Now, when I'm playing the organ, the only thing that these organs need to stop missing, put that little piece of block right there on the side so I can feel like I'm really behind the organ, and now you got me forever.
What you mean?
That you know, on a real organ, you got that block. You got a small block.
Oh yeah.
You put that there.
Yeah.
Oh man, you feel like you got everything you need.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You feel like you got everything you need.
Your phone at?
Yeah. Where I don't even know I don't know what y'all was using that for back in the day, but it's a beautiful. It's there.
It's a phone holder now.
It's a phone holder now.
But I tell you this, Hammond won to me. Shout out to Hammond. I'm gonna just do a real quick shout out, and I promise you. Shout out to Warren Madio. Warren Madio, I really would love to do some type of relations with y'all. I don't know what yet, but I like their LA2A, and I like how they got that Neve.
Yeah, I got the 47, not the 47. I had the Neve Prees. That was dope. But I have the 1176.
Yes, the 1176. That's the one. Yeah.
That joint crazy.
I would love to y'all holler at me. And also, shout out to my companies, Clear Tune. I didn't get to touch all of y'all, but I know y'all listening and paying attention. So Shure, Earthworks, Pearl, Sabian, Nord, y'all holler at us. And this video gonna go viral, and we know it already. So y'all give us a call.
No, that's cool.
Rolling.
Oh yeah, definitely rolling.
Shout out to Ed Diaz.
So let me tag on, because y'all know that's my people. That's my junk. So one thing they didn't have, they had the 909.
Yeah, the 1000,
the TR1000. I'm sorry, the TR1000.
Yeah.
Shout out to them on that. I didn't really get time with that. Rolling with Swamp. Y'all were Swamp. Y'all were in that room. Y'all were Swamp. Kudos to y'all. Y'all have had a great year with the V stage and with that TR1000. One thing that I'm curious to see y'all try. Now I don't think y'all gonna do it, but I'm just saying. Back in the day, before there was a Nord, there was a VK88.
Oh.
And that VK88 wasn't no pump. Now y'all have the VR organs, and it seems like that this digital organ race and the specificity of these organs it's growing. So Roland, I need you to hop into that race. We got it with the V stage. The V stage has a lot of moldable characteristics, and I can make it sound really great, but it's still the V stage.
So you think Roland needs to put out a full
I don't think it would be a bad idea, because the organ in the V stage is not a bad organ. It just wasn't down here with the other players.
Yeah.
So Roland drops VK whatever 88 whatever new version of it, or whatever they call it, VK whatever. You getting that?
For sure.
Dual manual.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because the thing about it is there's no questions. Like, so with the Electro, the bass pedals, it's an issue there. Splitting to get the bass pedals and all of that. And I'm not sure if the Electro 7 fixed that. Hopefully y'all did.
No, it's still the same, because the Electro sits in the situation of like they don't want it.
So if Roland came back with the VK88, I'm definitely interested to try it, because they did such a great job with the organ in the V stage. And the situation with the V stage, I really should have got the 76. Ed, I told you this. Should have got the 76. I told you after the fact. You gave me what I asked for, which was the 88. Because you can plug your pedals up to it, and you have a manual for your pedals, and it's a button. You have your manual for your upper, and it's a button.
Yeah.
And then, your manual for your lower, and it's a button. You can adjust the parameters on the vibrato. You can adjust the parameters on the leakage. On a lot of those things that we look for in an organ, you can adjust those. So I would definitely be curious to see Roland in that race. But we talking about organs. I'm going to side with my brother Kenny on the Hammond. Hammond did a great job. Y'all did an excellent job. Again, you're not going to get a traditional B3 out of a 2026 Hammond XK7. But what you get out of that is quality. Now, it has to be, and I need y'all to hear me. He said it before, it has to be with the new 122/147, 145, whatever it is. I don't like 145s. I don't like them. I don't. 122, 22H for me. But because it has the tubes in there, and those tubes still carry characteristics that you want to hear in your organ. As far as Viscount, I commend you guys for doing a great job of what you're trying to do in this organ race and emulating the roads and all of that. That's cool. Keep working at it. Develop more samples.
Keep working at it.
And talk to people who actually play organ. If you have not, I'm sure you have. Talk to more people who play organ, people who work on organ, like Sebastian Wheat. He's one of y'all champions. Talk to that guy.
What company are we talking about?
Viscount.
Oh yeah.
So that you can get a lot more of the little nuances, because the big picture, y'all got it. Y'all got the big picture.
And I honestly think Viscount, again, I think that is about a user-friendly type of situation, because I think if we get down to the nitty-gritty and there's multiple people who know how to dig into that board, like honestly, I have not sat with the board long enough to tell you that I don't like it. But what I'm telling you is I don't like it if I just have to be thrown into a situation. Like here, I was thrown in a situation, I sat down at it, I played at it.
Nah.
I was like, no, I wasn't like, nah, but I was like, out of the organs that we got in front of us, is at the bottom.
I got you. For sure. So
for sure.
honorable mention, they weren't at NAMM, but we did see that drop this morning with
Krumar.
Krumar.
So Krumar dropped this joint. I saw it this morning. I'm not sure when it dropped, but I'm thinking it's dropping sometime this week. They dropped a organ MIDI controller. So it's a MIDI controller just for organ, and I think it's going for like $600. So I was hoping to see them here, but they weren't here because I wanted to actually see it in person. But what do you think about it? I mean, it looked kind of cool.
So wait, before you, because you got a lot of more information on this.
He gonna go into the specifics.
The
specificity.
The specifications.
I'm the playability. He's the specificity.
So, and it's all bullshit. That's me. But I tell you this. So this is what I would say that Krumar has not gotten right. I do have a Krumar, and I'm not a fan because the pedals. Y'all got to do better with what y'all. Krumar, if you listening to me, please understand that one of the things that y'all got wrong was y'all tried to build an organ. Y'all should have left that shit alone. But because y'all in that organ space and y'all did not leave it alone, let me tell you what y'all have to do. First off, get off that Windows I/O, right? Get it, please. Please, get off of that because it's not giving them enough. But lastly, y'all need to have a way where we can play the pedals through the goddamn organ.
So with the controller, it doesn't have, from what I've read, I don't think it has built-in sounds. I think it's just a controller.
But you still cannot run it, even if you
So
still Logic, Waterfall B3, all of the B3s that you would play, it does not give you the option to also play the pedal manual through it.
It's got MIDI out, but it doesn't
fuck
have
out of
MIDI.
here with that. Go crazy.
Please do some edits on this.
We got the beep, 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 beep. No, we ain't gonna beep. We gonna have to do this.
Oh, no, man. Come on, brother. Come on, man.
Hey, listen.
Hey,
you're going to go to heaven either way.
Hey, man.
You were still fasting.
It ain't a...
Tell us what you got to say about Krumar.
So here's my thing for Krumar. Kenny called it. Get off that Windows system if you stay on it. Krumar needs to have a conversation with IK Multimedia. Krumar needs to have a conversation with UA because the UA did it. UA got it locked in, and matter of fact, UA is already locked in.
Go see whoever that is.
I think that's Glenn. Hold on, I'm sorry. Glenn. I think that's Glenn and Nord.
That's funny.
That's Glenn. No, we keeping this in. That's funny because that's
Glenn.
hilarious.
I told you get off this internet, brother.
This is the part about being at NAMM that's so killing. You could just be walking, and then music is happening everywhere, every scenario. We sit here trying to have a conversation, and somebody, I think it's Glenn at the Nord booth because it was 5:30. He over there absolutely
juicy here.
Get off the internet, Glenn. Juicy. But no, so Krumar, you need to have a conversation with IK Multimedia. They got it. And IK Multimedia did it so good that they have the exact same footprint on their iPad app that they have on their computer app. Ain't nobody else doing that. Logic didn't even do that. Logic has a great organ.
They do.
Have a conversation with UA. UA is top one as far as software organ. Top one.
Yeah.
UA, top one.
Yeah.
Have a conversation with them, because if you take some of their technology and even put it in what you've constructed as your organs, because all it is an OS on a computer OS. It's an app on a computer OS that's running through your organ and running through the outs. If you have that conversation with them and you perfect that, then you're going to be a big contender in the game. The other thing that you need to do, and I've said this about Yamaha with their technology, get your MIDI straight.
Yeah.
You need to have a board to where you can communicate via MIDI, traditional 5-pin MIDI, as well as USB-B. We haven't traveled so far in the future to where we're away from 5-pin MIDI.
Yeah.
So get your MIDI straight. Get your USB MIDI straight, because on a lot of these organs, you can't plug in USB and have the traditional MIDI and use your pedals. So get that straight. For this controller, wonderful price.
Yeah.
Great layout. You don't have a MIDI in. What am I going to do with my pedals? I can't play pedals with this thing, so what's the purpose of it?
So,
it's
but
for people who don't use pedals, and that knocks me out the game.
Oh, well, maybe, okay, you're absolutely right, because I do, when I run my pedals directly into the computer.
So fundamentally, for the people who are watching, if you have USB, if you have MIDI pedals, it goes on the out from your pedal board to the end on whatever instrument you play.
I mean, it's cool. I'm gonna get me one because I think it's an interesting. I've been saying for like years we need an organ MIDI controller, like an actual. That's why I bought the Krumar Classic. I don't even care about like the actual tone on the inside of the organ, because it's just trash to me. But the fact that it actually had the layout of like a B3, C3 situation, and it felt like that when you sat there, I'm like, this is the perfect controller. So that's why, and it lined up with the organ, locked in with the Logic organ and the waterfall like that. So I'm interested to see what this is gonna be. So I'm not gonna count it out right now, because like Kenny said, a lot of people, they ain't even like tripping off of the fact that like you can't go right into the back of the organ. For live, that makes sense. But as a controller in the studio, most cats is tracking organ, unless you're a Kevin Powell or somebody like that that's getting called to just like wail like that. Most of the time you're getting called to just play padding on an organ. You know what I'm saying? So a $600 MIDI controller that you could just pull up and it got, if it feels
Is it a
good,
single manual or a dual?
It's a single.
Okay.
That you could just have as a single.
I'll say this for my people who are dedicated to having pedals with your organ, there's a way around it.
I mean,
but you got to hit me up on my consultation link in Instagram, and I'll tell you how to do it. There's a way to do it. There's a clear fire way to do it.
So look, I'm looking at the time, and I know it's almost time for us to get up out of here.
It's almost time, Doc.
So one of the things that I want to say that my biggest takeaway was this year, we talked about was 2026 going to be a bust for keyboards, and it absolutely wasn't. But it wasn't in the form that we thought it would be in. We came here expecting keyboards to give us something, and every company that we've talked about right now has given us organs. So this year is the year of the organ. This year is the year for the organ to return back to its place of wealth, its place of beautiful warmth and sound. This is the year. 2026 was not for piano players. It was not for synth players. Yeah, it was a bunch of synth boards out, but it was for organ.
And Krumar dropped another. That's why I hate that they weren't here. They had like the little, what's that joint? The joint that looks like the Grand. That I was talking about.
Nobody want that shit.
I can't
Nobody want. See, listen, that's why they didn't come, because they know it's a piece of shit. I ain't even touched it.
Well, we're gonna see. I'm interested to see those. I was interested to talk. Now, Kurt, I'm gonna do it.
I will say this, from what I remember, and again,
Studio Logic.
Studio Logic. That's what I was
I remember. Krumar's version of the Rhodes is better than Viscount's.
I'm not going to get a Viscount Rhodes or a Krumar Rhodes.
I didn't know they made a Rhodes. They had a Rhodes? Sure. I didn't know that.
Viscount had a piano over there too.
No, it's the same thing.
That nothing, nah.
So Viscount has some good ideas. I'm gonna make a video on that. I got a lot of footage from the Viscount station, and I played the organ, but they did the organ and the piano, and they did have a lot of good ideas as to what they have set up there. But it's just for people who like that stuff. It's cool. It's not my preference.
That camera still on?
So the one that got the Kenny mentioned it a second ago, Studio Logic. Shout out to Studio Logic because we actually did a gig over at Juicy Ears with Doobie at noon today. And so they had the Studio Logic, the new joint over there. And so it's actually really, really dope. So it not only, I'm gonna get my hands on one of those. As a MIDI controller, it's pretty dope. Now it has built-in sounds, the one that they got, it's the NAMM. It's got built-in keys, but as a MIDI controller, what they did with that's super dope is they actually got an audio interface built into it as well. So I was able to roll up and then literally in 5 seconds, plug up my laptop, because Doobie had to go on in like 5 minutes. I literally rolled up, plugged up my laptop, pulled up Peculiar Sounds in Logic, plugged it up, and then just set the interface to the NAMM and ran it out, and he did the whole set.
Yeah,
he did the whole set from the Studio Logic.
That sound, Doobie shit sounded great. So first of all, let's start here. Shout out to Peculiar Sound. If y'all don't know, that is the Doobie PAL sound pack, right?
Yeah,
but this is the creator. This is the creator.
If y'all didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, but you never know. We reaching a lot of people.
Yeah, we are.
It was good to see a lot of people from overseas show us love too.
Right, for sure.
It was a lot of love. Yeah.
Yeah, Japan, Switzerland, and all of that. People just
walk up and say, we never get to see y'all unless y'all on the internet. So that means we got to keep doing this, y'all.
You got to get out, touch grass, as they say, man, and see people. That's the thing. Like a guy that I ran into, because we run into some of the same people every year, and my dude said, he was like, "Yo, bro, welcome to the NAMM reunion." The NAMM reunion. And so like that's just what it is. Like if you haven't came to NAMM, this is like, I think you need to get here next year. You need to make it your first year. Start now. Start planning. Start putting your money together. I got a video on my channel that actually talks about, I did it last year. It goes through everything you need to know about coming to NAMM for the first time, all of the ins and outs, what to expect, all of the stuff. It's on the channel. Go check that out because I think you'll enjoy that. But I think it's like the Mecca.
Yeah, it is.
Like you gotta, as a musician, you gotta go at least once because it's crazy. Like you're out and you're walking and then you'll run into Rodney East and you'll just be sitting talking to Rodney.
My highlight is Stevie Wonder walked past me with his crew and I was like, Stevie, we love you. He's like, oh, I love you guys too. And it was the coolest
But see, I got
ever.
a picture with Jazzy Jeff today.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? Yeah. Jazzy Jeff just strolling through the joint. You know what I'm saying? So like it's just it's a good vibe, and you'll find a way to reach all your heroes, see all the people.
So it's the experience.
It was a lot of love. It was a lot of love. It was a lot of love. It was, you know what? Even though you gonna get the convention, but it was a lot of like love from you know, not just heroes, but people who you didn't even know paid attention to what you were doing. So we're gonna keep doing it.
Just get to just like connect with people, and that's what's dope about it.
So what's final takeaway? It's 5:50. What's your final takeaway?
So my final takeaway, again, I'll echo what you said. I think I said in the beginning is this was the year of the organ.
Yeah.
Particularly Viscount, Hammond, and Nord.
Yeah.
Nord did a good job of rolling their products out. I'm going to talk about some things regarding my take on the Nord Electro 7 because I got to put hands on. I got to go through the menus. I got to play it a little bit. Still didn't get enough time with it. Hopefully I'll get some more time with it. So if y'all watching and y'all want to send me one, whoever, just holler at your boy.
I want that Studio Logic.
I do too.
I want it Studio Logic if you're watching. I want y'all.
Hold on, this is my time.
Yeah.
This is my time. But
I'm about to flip this table over like I'm Jesus.
Amen.
You put that ashy ass hand in my mouth.
Amen.
Put your goddamn hands down. You think he talking to his kids?
Come on. Anyway, but yeah, it was definitely the year of the organ shootout, and I think it was a good experience. It was good being able to follow up with you guys, and I called it on my last video before I came here. So I'm glad some of y'all came up, y'all spoke, we took pictures, all of that stuff, and everybody was nice. Wasn't nobody like weird this year, which is really good, and I'm sure it was weird people here, but they stayed away. God bless. But I'm talking about like my heroes, these guys that I've heard play on these records for years and who are matriculating even outside of gospel to brand recognition and brand management. So kudos to y'all.
Remind me of, bro? When you get to hang out with your big cousin, you're old enough to hang out with your big cousin. That's what it was like.
No, for real. Yeah. So shout out to Danny Weatherspoon. who has done a lot for the Nord brand. He's been the door to let a lot of people in and to connect them with a lot of people who have done a lot for that brand. So shout out to him. He's been nothing but great. My dude Anton Nesbitt, he was here. Shout out to him. Always been. That's my brother for real. But yeah, I mean, it's just been a good time. Like I said, I couldn't have said it any better. It's been like the NAMM reunion. And we got to see a few things. One thing that I will say, and I want y'all to hear me and hear me good, just because they don't have a big brand name.
He got 5 clothes.
I know, right?
Yeah, 5 of them. Don't even, even though it may not have a big brand name, make sure you check out those non-big name brand people, because you got some dope pianos, dope instruments.
He don't want you to say nothing like that shit. It's not about the boat in the ocean.
Come on,
it's about the motion in the boat.
So check out them small brands too. One brand that a lot of people may not know about, but I'm partnered with, that's Bellows Audio. Shout out to y'all. They've taken great care of me for the past couple years. They just dropped, I believe they're called the HammondXk7s, 7 drivers. They have custom in-ears with a universal tip. It's so crazy. I love those ears. I'm getting the HammondXk7s. Shout out to Vlad. Talk to him. Again, check out all of these companies, because all of them have something to offer. It may not be for you, but it could be for somebody else. I yield the rest of my time.
Where the fuck you took all our time?
He said we got 10 minutes. He took 8 of them.
You have 6 minutes, right?
I ain't got much to say. It was really, really dope, man. It's just, I've said pretty much everything that I needed to say about it. I think for me, the winner was the Electro. I mean, that's because that's the one that I'm the most interested in out of everything that I messed around with today. I played around. I did go to Kurzweil's booth and got a chance to mess around with that new 20-something, whatever they got. It's a new board. It's a callback to last year because they dropped it last year, but I didn't get a chance to mess around with it. But I played around with it today. It was pretty cool. I got my thoughts. I'll share that on a different video, my full thoughts on it. There's another small company, though, that I ran across when you said it. I thought about it. I think they're called ASM. They had a really dope synth board.
Oh, the synth, yeah.
Really dope synth, little small synth board.
The hydro synth?
Yeah, that joint's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, like, really crazy.
Cool.
And like, they're not mainstream. Like, you don't hear about them a whole lot, at least not on the States. They're not getting a lot of love. So they were cool, really good. Other than that, just connecting with people. Again, I stand behind the fact that if you're a musician, you need to come to NAMM at least once. It's like the Mecca. You need to come at least once in your life if you're a musician, because I promise you, just coming one time will change your life.
Yeah.
It will change your life. Just coming one time will.
Wow.
That's a callback to an inside joke. But anyway, what you got, Kenny?
First of all, shout out to JBL,
for letting us shoot over here.
and Harmon for letting us even use this space. We do appreciate y'all for allowing us to do that, man. And again, happy NAMM 2026.
Yeah.
It was really dope. I said everything that I had to say. Hopefully the companies that need to do the work, make sure that y'all keep up with, you know, the trend, and ask us the hard questions.
Because we definitely gonna ask y'all the hard ones.
Ask us the hard questions.
Yeah, I love that.
Shout out to NAMM.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. You know what this is. You know what you're supposed to do. Don't act brand new. So hit the like button, hit the share button, drop a like, a comment down below. Let us know what you think about it. And hopefully we'll see you guys out here next year for NAMM. We appreciate you guys for watching. We'll talk to you guys on the next one. Holla at your boy.